Lori Martin Gregory is an independent, hold on a second, my phone an independent journalist who writes about natural health and medical freedom for the Mom Street Journal and Health Impact News. She's a former investor relations consultant for Wall Street and was graduated with an MBA from Boston University. I'd also like to say that she's a third-generation journalist, fourth, with some very esteemed, powerful, wonderful journalists in her family. Lori, thank you.
Thank you so much, Del, and thank you to Physicians for Informed Consent for just being. When I was a child, I always wanted to know why. Luckily for me, my mother was very used to this line of questioning because my father was a newspaper man back when newspapers actually mattered. At the time, they were the only credible source of investigative work. That need to know followed me, and today I'm here to tell you that the search for truth is in danger. Not because we have less access, but because life is so full and we haven't got time to filter. Moreover, these little devices, while empowering in many ways, are constantly competing for our attention. Studies show on average you have 24 seconds to capture someone's attention before they click off of your website. Maybe that's why, despite the reputation that social media sites like Facebook have, even though they claim to be algorithming out fake news, still feature ads in their sidebar that are known as clickbait, that espouse breaking news that is untrue. Perfect example is a well-known post that you will often see on Facebook that will espouse that celebrities like Meryl Streep have been gone too soon, even though we know Meryl Streep's alive and well because she was at the Oscars this year. Fake news is the bait that often pulls us off track. Hear this well. Vaccine injury is not clickbait, nor is it a rainbow unicorn. It is very real. It's not just autism, and it's hiding in plain sight. This binder that I have with me today represents the cases of vaccine injury that were paid out in settlements through the U.S. Special Claims Court for 2016. Wow. It's released every year to the President of Congress, who's also known as the Vice President of the United States. This most recent report was issued, as it has been for the past 8 years, to former Vice President Joseph Biden. What's interesting to me is that none of the mainstream media are even paying attention to this report, much less reporting about it. I know this because this year the report, which historically is released in the second week of January on the U.S. Special Claims Court website, was late. It was only when I called the U.S. Special Claims Court in mid-February to inquire about the delay that the information was released on the website the next day. Granted, the report, which reveals for 2016 actually, that there's an 11% increase in vaccine injuries across the board from 2015. It went from 114 million in payouts to 127 million in payouts. That's for 1 year. It's cumbersome and it's labor intensive. That's because the report is issued on a scanned PDF instead of a sortable spreadsheet. So me, being foolish and stubborn, has to sit and go through and highlight all the cases in the 277 pages, and there's about 10, 11 cases per page, and then hand enter it into a spreadsheet. It's worth it. Because buried in these seemingly endless pages is gold. In 2015, there was a 400% increase in vaccine injury payouts to Americans, including a 1,188% increase in flu shot payouts alone. That's 1,188%. I'm certain you will agree with me that information like this is statistically relevant in the realm of public health. Yet to date, no one has reported this information because, sadly, it contradicts the messaging found in 70% of the advertising that is generated in mainstream media today, which is pharmaceutical companies. It's time for the Fourth Estate to rise up. We are an important component of democracy. Thomas Jefferson prophetically was aware of this fact. As a mom, as a journalist, as a wife, as an American, I implore you, members of the press, do not fall prey to the erosion of the boundary between truth and revenue. In an era where false news and truth are swirling in the same river, take a stand. Be brave. Challenge your editors and your assignment desk to go beyond the hijacked narrative of identity politics. Healthcare and industry don't always make for the best bedfellows, but it's up to you, the media, to inform the public about issues like vaccine injury. Despite whatever social propaganda or indoctrination narrative may have swayed the public from truth, it's up to you, the gatekeepers, to save and serve democracy from being a footnote in the annals of history.